Hey everybody, welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Paul Tripoli. Coach Tripp to all my players. I coached for 20 years, two of them here as our guests, along with my buddy, Coach Mark Hobley.
All right.
With Coach Hobbs, I call him. We're on Local Sports Report with two of my favorite players of all time, Alex Williams and DJ Pettway. Alex, DJ, thanks for taking the time to be on the podcast.
Appreciate you for having us, Coach.
Thanks, DJ.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, all right. I'm still your coach, and we're kind of like Marines. All right. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Once your coach, always a coach. Hey, come on, guys. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to be forgotten. Don't let me forget you. I can't forget you guys, man. All right, let's start with you, Alex. You finished your career at Catholic high school. Now you're a business owner, a mentor, high school football coach. Talk about growing up here in Pensacola and your youth sports and going to Catholic.
Growing up in Pensacola, it was awesome. If I could do it all over again, I would. And I started off playing, ironically, playing for DJ's dad, Coach Pettway. And he and my dad as well, he was a coach first couple of years of playing Little League sports. And it was an awesome experience. I'd known DJ before he was born, like I said, Coach Pettway and the Salvation Army. That's why I played for. And Coach Lumen May, County Commissioner Lumen May was the director there. And it taught us a lot it gave us discipline. Let me go back and start off with my parents. They instilled that in me first, discipline and how to treat people. And you treat everybody with respect. And that carries you a long way. And starting playing football at 6 years old at Salvation Army, it was the same thing. No matter what we were doing, you showed all adults, you showed respect. Yes, sir, no, sir, no, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And that carried me throughout life. But going back to Salvation Army, I got an opportunity to play with a lot of great guys, guys that went on to have NFL careers, and guys that are also just successful in life and making a difference in our community. And it was a pleasure, man. We won in Little League at Salvation Army. We won about 5 championships. We went to the championship game every year. So out of 7 years, we won 5. Those are some good numbers there. And it wasn't just about the championships. It was about the camaraderie we built and taking that to our schools and taking that, dealing with people in the community. And it made a difference. And that's what helps me transcends into a business owner, because it's the same respect. It's the same, hey, we're going to do everything. Exactly. We're going to take pride in everything we do. And that's what we live by. And going from there and going into Catholic was honestly a culture shock for me. But with it being a culture shock, you got to be in uncomfortable situations to grow. And my first semester at Catholic, it was awesome. All 4 years at Catholic was awesome. We went on to play only sophomore class to play in the state championship. We played in the state championship against Pahokee, and after that was the standard. And when we talk about standard and going into life, it has to be a certain level of standard, and that's what growing up in Pensacola taught me. It has to be a certain level of standard. I've been all up and down the East Coast traveling and coaching, but I took from what I learned here in Pensacola, Florida, with me. And I'm fortunate enough, like I said, my parents they work for the city, and to this day, they're still working, and they are hard-nosed parents. They worked hard on me and my siblings growing up. I'm the second oldest of 7. So I'm the oldest boy, then the big brother. Like, it comes with that responsibility, setting an example. And they started with me. And I tell people all the time, my dad put the ball in my hands. My mom taught me the game. And what I mean by that, my dad taught me work ethic and what it is to be a man. And my mom taught me the spirituality of life and how you interact with people and leaving a lasting impression on people. And that,
Absolutely.
right,
Leaving a positive impact, Alex.
exactly.
That's what you're doing. You're doing it to, tons of business owners. You help DJ start his business. You're a mentor to my son, and I appreciate that. You're 4 years older than your brother Sean.
Give or take, 4 years older than
4
Sean.
years older than Sean.
Yes.
And that's who, and you remember, so DJ's dad was your coach. DJ, you
Yes.
remember your
My
dad
first coach.
coaching? You remember your dad coaching when you were little, DJ?
Oh yeah, for sure. He was my coach. He just coached Alex and them before me. So I'm about 3 years behind Alex, or 3 or 4.
Richard, I think Matt Adams and Coach
I'm
Seibert.
older than Sean.
I think Matt Adams and Seibert, you got to give them a little credit. They switched you to quarterback to defensive end. I think you did okay, defensive end. DJ Pettway, 3-time national champion at Alabama. Deej, I'm so proud of you, man. I went to Alabama when I was coaching. I was secretly hoping that you would pick Alabama, and that warmed my heart when you did. No, I didn't win 3 national titles like you did, but I just missed a couple because of my timing. But hey, talk about the standard that Saban has, and talk about Alabama and how different it was to play there. Can you hear me, Deej? I think we lost him, Alex. I think we lost him.
But going back to the standard, coach, even at Catholic,
too much different from anything I grew up doing, playing Little League. We had Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Yep, I can. DJ, can you hear me?
I'm right here.
All right, talk about the standards Saban set at Bama and why it's special to play there.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? We can't hear him,
right?
Alex. We're gonna have to reconnect.
It was everything I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was everything I grew up doing.
He's buffering in and out. We'll send him a text. Tell him to hook back up again. DJ, you in a bad spot? Get away from where you're at.
You in a tornado?
Alex, let's talk about Eugene, man. Eugene Smith. Let's talk about some of your teammates. Those guys had some amazing games. Eugene down at Madison County, which is not an easy place to play, right?
Boot Hill.
Boot Hill, down in Boot Hill. Right?
Oh yeah.
We didn't have a very good team, but we had Eugene. Josh White was a great DB we had. I think he had 7 or 8 picks that year.
Right. Tim Brown. Tim Brown, middle linebacker. Oh yeah.
Hey, Eugene threw for 300 yards and ran for 200 against them. And we lost. What was the score? Like 51-48, Alex?
We lost by 7 that year. It was a high scoring game, but Eugene Smith, phenomenal athlete. And he started off playing running back. Coach Smith switched him over to quarterback going into his junior year, and he excelled in all aspects of the game because he's been a dude since we were in Little League playing at Morty Grove. But it was a great experience playing with him, and not just him, all of my teammates. Like you said, Josh White, John White, David Jennings, Josh Sidden. I played with Sidden, Patrick Bryan. I got
Wibbs, Mitch Malley.
Right. A list of guys. And starting with the coaching staff, like I said, when I got in my freshman year, Mike Smith was the head coach and 2-time national champion in football and baseball, and he brought that, and Catholic grad, and he brought that energy to Catholic, and he did a great job at, along with the rest of the coaching staff, in developing players, setting the standard, and it was all about character. Like we grinded out tour days in the early years. We grinded out in the weight room, and that's what it was. After we went to state our sophomore year, we came back. Anything less was not acceptable. So when you talk about the standard, guys like DJ, Shan, Devin Dukes, the guys that came in after us, the bar was already set, and we knew what the green and gold meant. And it's an honor and privilege, and I tell guys that all the time. It's an honor and privilege to wear those colors, and those are things that's going to take you not just 4 years. It's going to take you 10, 20, 30 years. It's going to be with you for the rest of your life. So no matter where you're playing high school football at, and I talk to my players now, life is about who we become and how we help other people. And
Absolutely.
100%.
Alex. Yeah, it is. Those are the life lessons that you learn. Talk about some of your position coaches at South Alabama. I know, we've got to, if we talk about the good, sometimes we got to talk about the bad. Kurt Crank, talk about your position coach that lost his life to CTE. Because I was talking earlier with Preston Gothard, and folks, this is going to air Thursday night, but Saturday you want to tune in to Preston Gothard Coach's Corner at 10 a.m. and he talks about CTE and about how both of us, tell our story how both of us almost lost our lives on the football field. So there's sacrifice that's involved, and talk a little bit about your position coaches, Alex.
South Alabama, I got the opportunity to play for Coach Joy Jones. He was the head coach, and we're coming in our inaugural season at South Alabama. We had a group of guys that it was the same mentality as we had coming from little league and high school, and we meshed well. We went the first 2 seasons, we went undefeated, and my position coach at the time was Coach Kurt Crane, and he was All-American at Auburn in the 80s. He taught me how to play linebacker because in high school I played running back and strong safety, and when I got to college, it was the same thing. He demanded a lot out of you, and I was already used to that pedigree because coming from Catholic, that's like we talked about earlier. That's what we expected. So for Coach Crane, he was the guy that he was hard nosed. Just to put it in, for lack of better words, he was hard nosed, but also as a coach, he coached us hard and loved us up. He was like on the field, he demanded a certain level of standard, and also off the field in the classroom as well. And going into the CTE, you would have never known. You don't know those things until it happens. We don't know what people are battling with, and he did a good. He maintained it all up until it was that time, but a great guy and taught me a lot about life, and another great mentor I had in life, because that's what this is about. From the time I was a little kid, I had started with my dad, and it was the same thing, playing at Salvation Army. I had great men in my life to lead and guide me, and Coach Crane was one of those men, a man of men's, if you would call them. And like I said, it is a thing. That's a real thing. CTE. You don't really know till after the fact that when it happens, when they examine the brain and all that good stuff. So the game, and going into the game, that's why the game is changing to protect guys from hurting themselves and learning how to tackle properly and all the fundamental and technique that football requires. So that's what we're going towards. And like I said, it was a great opportunity, and it was an honor and privilege to play for him at South Alabama.
Yeah, Joey Jones is a teammate of mine at Alabama for many years. Yeah, him and I were very, very close. I played against Kurt Crane, and Coach Shobbs has a question for you.
Hey, Coach, thank you for coming on, you and DJ today. And I just want to ditto everything you guys said about doing things in the community. Speaking of CTE, and you played linebacker and you're coaching, how do you teach tackling now to prevent those type of things? I kind of tried to teach tackling with the helmet off, as I got older. What are some of the new techniques that you use at Washington High School, and what are the things that we can be doing to help protect our young people?
Well, I try to segment it, and it starts with your start stance, pad level, and how you attack a guy. You want to attack a guy with your hands first, and hands then head. You want to use as less as your head as you possibly can, and that's body on body, wrapping up, securing the tackle, and taking the man down to the ground. And sometimes we like to use the gator roll technique, and it all depends on what angle you're taking to make the tackle and secure the tackle.
Right.
But it's get the man on the ground and protect yourself at all costs. And like you see, that's a great point, Coach, using tackling without helmets. So we use the bags. We use the bags as well. Head placement, wet side of the body that you attack on, and getting your head across to secure the tackle.
Hit your shoulder, not with your
right. We probably spend in Indy a good bit of our Indy period in form tackling, and throughout the spring, that's what we teach, form tackling, and that goes all the way back to the weight room. How you lift weights, how you, like the saying go, how you do anything is how you'll do everything.
Yes, indeed.
So we implement that from the early stage. We try to get our freshmen involved early, because it's about how we expect you to do it and how you should do it going forward. And that goes back to the standard. The standard is the standard, but that is tackling and fundamental is crucial in football, especially when you got guys moving at a rapid pace. And you got running backs. These running backs nowadays, they stick their foot in the ground and they get upfield. So knowing what the proper angles to take as well plays a crucial factor in tackling form.
Thank you, Coach. I hope a lot of parents out there are listening to that, and some of you young players. Here's a guy that's done it on each level, and something you need to pay heed to.
All right, Ellie, let's talk a little bit about some of the, not X's and O's, but maybe more of the mental part of sports, football. I used to like to take themes, when I was at Catholic, my DBs, you're a DB / safety, linebacker / running back in high school. And I'd like to take a theme every week, and I'm going to do that at PHS and talk about maybe more of the mental part, of football and sports. Mental toughness, for instance. Mental toughness enables you to ignore the minor hurts, the opponent's pressure, and the temporary failures. Physical toughness will make an opponent weaken, but mental toughness will make him crack. That's from the great Vince Lombardi. So you have to teach mental toughness as well. Character is not made in crisis. It is only exhibited. And then I give a Bible verse, to my kids. As a Catholic, I did it, Tate. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand. I shall not be moved. Psalm 16:8. So that week, let's focus on being mentally strong, pushing through everything. I want to read a couple more things, and I want to see what your reaction to it is. And one man with courage makes a majority. Now, I think of Pat Tillman when I read that quote.
That's a good one.
One man will stiffen the spines of others. Courage is contagious. That's, I'm sure the military thinks of that. Do you have any relatives in the military, Alex?
I do. I have quite a few. And when you talk about mental toughness, and how I describe mental toughness is, how hard are you willing to go, and how long are you willing to go? And I like to be living down here in Florida, and we get hurricanes. I like to compare it to a window, and it's how much pressure can it take, how much pressure it takes for that window to shatter. Right. And it's the same thing in life. life happens. Every day happens. Different things in life on day-to-day basis happen. How much you're willing to take and how do you respond to what's going on around you. And football builds character, and it's so much more than the games. We say X's and O's, and I tell my guys it's about Jimmy and Joe's.
Right.
What type of man do they become from learning this game? Because like I said, it builds character and who you are as a person, who you are as a man. That if you have a standard for yourself, that set the standard for the guys around you. And I've always been the older brother, always taking pride in what I do, how I do it, and when I do it, because that's going to carry you throughout the rest of your life.
Right. Make a good
And
example of the younger ones. The older
exactly,
ones always got
exactly.
the responsibility. DJ, you back with us, buddy?
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you now, bud.
All right, good.
All right. All right. So we're talking about, overcoming obstacles and learning life lessons. I'm glad you stuck with us, DJ, because I learned a lot of life lessons growing up. I got in trouble in high school. Coach George O'Leary gave me a second chance. Thank you, God. Coach Bryant, I got in trouble at Alabama. Coach Bryant gave me a second chance. I would have never reached my goals if it wasn't for people giving second chances. DJ, I want you to talk everybody about don't feel shameful. If you learn your lesson, then that's the reason God set you down that path. But you got in trouble at Alabama and you went to a community college. Won a national championship there, by the way. So, DJ's got like 4 rings. DJ, talk about getting in trouble and having redemption, and what did Coach Saban say to you to take you back?
Well, yeah, it ended up being one of the most impactful moments in my life. I just had to sit down and look myself in the mirror, man. I thought it was over, but I worked my butt off to prove, that wasn't who I was. I wasn't about to let one situation define me as a whole. And I had to sit down and just be one again and kind of come down because we had won 2 national championships back to back. I mean, it wasn't too much wrong we could do. And
Right.
so, that had like nothing to do with it, but at the same time, man, it was a time to be there. And so coming back from that, all I had to do was just ground myself again, take time to, breathe and, talk about things and just, think, get back in my head again. Because life, when I got there, man, it moves fast when you get to college. You know what I mean? You got to learn so much in a quick amount of time. It wasn't too much. It was just, I was young, dumb, and, had fun, man.
Right.
And so,
it was self-evaluation. That's what it was. You looked at yourself and you evaluated that. That's a sign of good character right there.
Man, I just knew I needed to ground myself again, get back, with God. I mean, I literally, I stopped everything, man. I really, really appreciated just, playing football again, just, having a good relationship with my teammates at JUCO. And I got back, I was able to get a second chance, and when that came, man, I made the most of it, and I did right. I did what I was supposed to.
So you won 3 titles, DJ. Tell us about all 3 years. Your sack in the national championship game, was that the highlight? Talk about some great games that you remember that were fun.
Let's see. I mean, my first game ever was probably one of my favorites because I remember being in high school watching Denard Robinson play and at Michigan. And I was be like, man, dude, the truth, I was a fan of him. And so we ended up playing him the first game, my redshirt freshman year. My first play on the field. I go up, take an inside move, sack Denard Robinson. Man, I didn't even realize it was really him. I knew we were playing him the whole game, but I didn't even realize what happened. So I looked back at it, I was like, dog, I was just watching this man 2 years ago, a year ago, however long he was there. And
you always remember your first game.
first game, first play ever. I did something wild. I took an inside move. He was scrambling quarterback. We had a blitz coming up through the middle, a stunt to the other side, and I just gambled and went inside. You're not supposed to do none of that with that stuff going on. When he can get out, break the pocket, and run for a touchdown, 7 yards. If we would have did that, I'd have never saw the field again that year. So that was one of my favorites. I gambled hard on that one. Another game. Man, we had some bangers, man. We had some bangers. Probably LSU 2012, 13, something like that.
LSU always played us tough, man. I was just telling somebody today, I jammed my neck against Dalton Hilliard down in LSU, man. And they put me in one of those gothic contraptions, something around my neck and harnesses on my leg, tried to stretch me out. That didn't work. That hurt more than the dang neck injury I had.
Those thighs he's got.
The dog fight, man. I got my head split open against Auburn by my own teammate.
Yeah, friendly fire. That's what happens. Tell what happened on that play.
I had to I beat the guard with a nice move. Dude named Jabril. I can't think of his last name. He was our safety. Jabril Washington. He come on a safety blitz. I mean, he come from 30 yards away. As soon as I beat the guy, turned the corner, going to the quarterback, Nick Marshall. He threw it. And Jabril just turned his shoulder to stop for him, the quarterback. And boom. I was out of there. I got up, played the rest of the game. But
you weren't right, though. You played the rest of the game, but you weren't right.
Oh, no.
Hey, DJ, I was telling somebody, that's how I got injured really bad just one time in my career. That's all, just once. I collapsed my lung, but it was my own linebacker that hit me with his helmet.
Exactly.
Friendly fire. People don't realize, but you get hurt a lot of times from your own teammates. They don't realize that.
Man, especially the most in practice, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In practice. All right, so I'm gonna read this off, and I want you guys to comment on it. 100% effort. Defeat is not the worst of failures. Not to have tried is the true failure. The difference between successful person and others is not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. You can preach a better sermon with your actions than with your words. That reminds me of Saban's thing about you can face the pain of disappointment or the pain of discipline. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
DJ, did he just throw off quote? Because Coach Bryant would come in our team meetings every day with a quote or a story or something that he had. Did Saban just throw off all these quotes that you remember?
Yeah, stuff like that. But man, honestly, it was the way that man lived his life, man. You know what I mean? Every day he came in ready to go. It takes effort to come in with that same energy every day about everything that we're doing. Every little thing about every little player, making sure this player's on this list. If they need to gain weight, if they need to lose weight, making sure all that's checked off. You know what I'm saying, man? It was just militant how everything was kept up with to make sure you were trying to be the best person you need to be. I mean,
every
you need to be trying to be what y'all talked about in y'all meeting about what's going to make you elite, more elite than you already are. So if you're not working towards doing that, man, or you're not doing good at school, or you're doing good at school, and you're not doing what you need to do on the field or with your body, if you're lacking any components of that, man,
you're gone.
You got to work on. Yeah,
you got to go. You got to leave the program. Yeah.
And the next, well, you might not have to leave, but you're gonna be playing scout team or something.
You're gonna be playing.
You're gonna get exposed.
Alex, this is what Coach Saban said. Everyone has 5 choices to make in life. You can be bad at what you do. You can be average at what you do. You can be good for whatever ability God gave you, or you can be excellent. Or you can be elite. It takes special intensity, special focus, special commitment, drive, and passion with the high standard to be elite.
Oh yeah,
That's not just in football. That's in everything.
in all aspects of a life. We wake up, we wake up great. We wake up average. So why not be good? Why not be great?
That's
Why
right.
not? And I talk to my guys about this. It's about emptying the bucket every day. Leave it. That's where will come from. Leave it all on the table. No
Right.
matter what the situation or the circumstances is, long as I go hard, and that's all I can do, and
Right.
everything else will take care of itself. As long as you're going hard, as long as you holding people around you accountable,
Right.
you'll be taken care of.
Absolutely. I love that. You wake up average and you decide whether to be good, bad, terrible, or excellent or elite. You decide that every day, man. That's awesome. Wow. Wow is right. All right, there's a couple more things. I know we're going long, but man, this is rolling. Yeah, this is what Saban says. There are three things we can't have. We can't have complacency, we can't have selfishness, and we can't lose our accountability. You just now talked about some of those, Alex. Those are three
Right.
things we can't have. DJ, what else? What else do you remember about your time at Bama, man? What else? What else can you share with our listeners out there?
Man, I
You're
just
blessed.
remember. I
Hey,
just
where's your rings?
remember.
Hey, where's all 67? I'm sorry, you got 7 rings because I think the BCS gave you one, the school gives you one. So you have 7 from your junior college national
It's really,
championship.
it's really
DJ,
like
do you get DJ? Do
it's
you have
really like
7
11,
championship rings?
11,
Huh?
11.
11. Well, we didn't get one.
Because
We didn't get one in high school, though. We came damn close.
The bowl games.
The bowl
I
games.
got. The first year we won SEC. No, we didn't win SEC that year. That's the only year we didn't win the SEC when I was there. So the first year I got national championship. So that's 2, one from the school, one from NCAA. The second year I think we won the SEC, and then we beat Notre Dame. So that's 3 rings because you got SEC, and 2, one from NCAA, one from university for the national championship. And then I got JUCO. We got 2 for that. So that's 7. And then my third year, we won SEC. Fourth year, SEC. And we lost to Ohio State in the first year of the playoffs. And then my last year, we won SEC and national championship.
DJ, I got to ask you, what do you think about the new coach at Alabama? What do you think?
I think that was a great hire, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do too.
the best we could have got right now. Everybody else is locked into their situation. I think it was a good hire, and he's got some good assistants around him. And I hope we can keep, some of the guys we've been, recruiting to go ahead and sign.
All right,
But,
Arbitrium, the official sponsor of Coach's Corner. Arbitrium Landscaping, Alex owns. Alex, talk a little bit about your business, and then we'll ask DJ to talk about his fence business.
The business it goes back to standard from day one, from growing up here in Pensacola, Florida, and coming back and being a pillar in the community. And it's about life is about spreading knowledge and understanding, and what they say, reach one, teach one. So if we can create a trade. We all should be helping one another out. And business is business, and we it's the same thing going back to Catholic high school. The saying is commitment to excellence, and that's been my mantra. That's been my every day I wake up, commitment to excellence. So with the business aspect of it, we've been fortunate enough to stay busy. We've been consistent throughout COVID and everything for the last 6 years. The Gulf Coast is amazing. We're steady building and growing, and it's about giving back. So teaching the trade to the younger generation and learning from the older guys. Same thing about growing up. I'm fortunate enough to have my parents, fortunate enough to have the teachers and the coaches that I come across, and they all been mentored, and they all been a conglomerate factor in what we do in business. And to moving forward, we continue to hope to grow and expand and reach more areas of the Gulf Coast and the Southeast region of the country and global. And it's about how you treat people, and that's half the battle right there. So it's
Amen,
good.
brother.
We've been
Hey,
fortunate.
let them know your phone number. They can get. How do they get a hold of Arbitrium?
850-483-0350. That is the direct line, and we specialize in landscaping and renovations, and we can take care of all your needs. And we give us a call, and we'll come out.
Awesome, man. You're one of my favorite players, man. I enjoy coaching you. DJ, talk about your fence business and how they get a hold of you.
Yeah, Precision Fencing Incorporated. My guy Alex is the one, helped me learn how to start my business journey. So,
Right.
Appreciate him for that. And you can reach us at 850-454-7784. We do all type of fence work, deck work, aluminum, chain link, wood, vinyl, anything you need done, we can do it.
Awesome. Hobbs, you got one last question?
One for each one of you. Number one, I do use Alex for my rentals and stuff like that in mind.
Uh-huh.
And so, folks, not only is he a great sponsor to the show, he stands behind his work. And so I'm just not saying that. That's who I use there. As far as Mr. Pettway goes, I don't know if many people know this, but that guy was a tremendous baseball player. That's what, when I first saw him in football, he was a quarterback playing for his dad. So I probably saw Alex at the same time, just not knowing who he was. But Mr. Pettway was a tremendous baseball player at Catholic High School. And don't get it twisted, folks. That guy had pro aspirations there. And so I just want to say to you, Mr. Pettway, I know you have a young man at home about 6 or 7 years old. And with your experiences in football and stuff like that and CTE and stuff like that, how are you raising him maybe different, or are you raising him the same as your father raised you as far as being a two-sport athlete?
I'm on the fence about it. I'm not in a
That's a good pun.
Hey, that's
pun
pretty,
intended.
That's
pun
pretty
intended.
fun. Hey, that's pretty good. I'm on the fence about it.
That's pun intended right there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I like that. But yeah, I ain't really not mad at me, but also it would be nice to see. I don't really just want to put him in there without him even knowing anything about it. I don't know. We want to work on it. Maybe play a little flag before, teach him how to learn how to use his body right and tackle. You know what I mean? I was already around the game, so it's kind of different, approach. I got to get ready mentally years before I got out there. He ain't around as much as me, but I'm not really against it. I don't think, I don't know if I'm affected by it, but I could be. I don't know. I had a lot of head. I go head up all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I know people who might have been affected by it, but that's not, my reason for, keeping them out, because, I think that they'll have to tackle different in this day anyway. You know what I'm saying? We didn't grow up like that. We grew up on knock your head off,
All right.
Yeah. So I don't mind.
Man, I'm gonna end it with some more Saban
baseball,
quotes.
though.
I'm gonna end this with more of your old coach's quotes. Usually I talk about Coach Brian, but it was appropriate we talk about Coach Saban here. I'm gonna end with two of his quotes. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader. Sell ice cream. Number two is mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people. So if everybody doesn't buy into the same principles and values in the organization and at the same high standard, you're never going to be successful.
100%.
Remember that in business, the same thing in coaching, same thing in football. Hey, I love you guys, man. Thanks for joining the show.
Love, Coach. We appreciate both of y'all, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure talking with you guys. Keep doing what you're doing in the community.
Yeah, keep going, guys. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So long.
Have a good one.
See you, Coach. All right, man. That's awesome. Huh?
Yes.
Those two guys are special.
Wow.
Special to me, special to this community, and
they're both
leaders.
Special to me.
They're special to everybody, man. And that's good stuff. All right, stay tuned for these great commercial spots. Without them, this just wouldn't be possible. Thanks for watching Coach's Corner. Remember, Saturday, 10 a.m., Preston Gothard, former Bama walk-on, and Pittsburgh Steeler tight end. You don't want to miss his amazing story. He's funnier than heck anyway. So long, everybody. Have a great sports weekend. See you.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
My name is Steve Reynolds. I'm the manager and owner of Cordova Lanes, and we help keep your mind out of the gutter. Cordova Lanes is part of the community of Pensacola. Being here for 43 years, we've entertained more people than any other bowling center in the city. We self-fund for a living. Cordova Lanes is located at 2111 Airport Boulevard in Pensacola, behind Cordova Mall. Come on out and see us at Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Thank you.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner.
Hey, Bama fans, this is Will Moore, president of the Pensacola Bama Club. You can find us at PensacolaBamaClub.com. We are your official alumni chapter in the Pensacola and surrounding areas. Membership is available to all alumni and all Bama fans, so come see us at one of our many events throughout the year. Our Bama football watch parties are the next best thing to being in Bryant-Denny Stadium. We even serve authentic stadium hot dogs. Membership, event, and contact information will be found on our website at PensacolaBamaClub.com. Roll Tide.
For over 30 years, you have seen the orange Beck signs all over the Gulf Coast listing a property for sale or lease. Beck Partners is your trusted advisor in commercial real estate, property management, commercial and personal insurance. Senior Vice President David Valletto has been with Beck Partners since 1989. Take advantage of his wealth of knowledge by calling him today at 982-7352. 982-7352. Extensive experience in all aspects of leasing, sales, management, and site selection will make sure your expectations are exceeded.